School gardens have been growing in popularity for the last few decades. School gardens in America began in the late 1800s with the nature study movement, an outgrowth of the country life movement. Pioneered by Liberty Hyde Bailey, the dean of Cornell's College of Agriculture, nature study focused on fostering a spiritual connection to the earth and a love of nature so that children would be content with country life. Bailey was also interested in the pedagogical promises of nature study, which gave children a more hands-on approach to learning. While nature study initially focused on curriculum reform in rural schools, nature study advocates, after seeing that children in cities were deprived of nature and lacked basic understanding and knowledge of it, began to promote school gardens in cities. The first U.S. school garden began in 1891 at the George Putnam School in Roxbury and focused on growing varieties of wildflowers for study. Around this time, G. Stanley Hall, a progressivist and psychologist, argued that without nature, children would not have a complete or normal childhood and would reject the hardworking values of pastoral America, causing them to fall into hoodlumism, juvenile crime, and secret vice. The idea of using school gardens and farms as vehicles for instilling proper values into children prevailed and expanded throughout the height of the 19th century school garden. By 1905, large school gardens were common in most cities as schools expanded with reforms to child labor laws and an influx of immigrants, moving more and more children into school. While these school gardens functioned to enrich student learning, they also functioned as good citizen factories and had goals of city beautification, reduction of juvenile delinquency, improvement to public health and nutrition, Americanization of immigrants, and the creation of good workers. School gardens gained such popularity that in 1914 the Bureau of Education established a Department of Home and School Gardens. During World War I, the existing school garden network became the School Garden Army, and large sums of money were pumped into the gardens. But after the end of World War I, funding stopped, more people moved to the suburbs, and the school garden craze subsided. The reemergence of school gardens now can be linked to a growing concern for children's health, nutrition, and access to food, along with increasing environmental unease and a desire to get children out into nature. Since the 70s, childhood obesity has increased to epidemic proportions, with the most recent statistics showing that 19.7% of adolescents aged 2 to 19 are obese. Obesity disproportionately affects Hispanic and African American youth, and affects almost twice as many children in the lower and middle socioeconomic strata than those at the top. Food insecurity is another major issue for children in the U.S. and affects 14.8% of households with children. While healthy eating and the importance of proper childhood nutrition has gotten more and more attention lately, with a push for children to eat less junk food items and more fruits and vegetables, this push can be tone deaf to the fact that a large amount of children don't have easy access to healthy foods. School gardens can assist by growing and distributing produce within communities that may lack access. As children spend much of their time at school and have at least one meal there, schools have a big hand in childhood nutrition. Most public schools and many private schools participate in the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program, which reimburses schools for meals that meet federally defined nutrition standards. Additionally, the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010, spearheaded by First Lady Michelle Obama, requires nutrition standards for all foods sold in schools, setting rules upon previously unmonitored a la carte options. School lunches have been noted as improving children's nutrition and safeguarding against hunger. However, cafeterias can find it difficult to create meals that are appetizing to students and fulfill all requirements while remaining within budget. Furthermore, many students opt not to have school lunches. A huge setback to childhood nutrition is that many children don't like fruits and vegetables, and the majority of children don't eat the recommended amount. Several independent studies on food waste show that about 42% of fruits and vegetables served in cafeterias end up in the trash. However, this does not have to be the case. Several studies of children's eating habits before and after school garden work, paired with nutrition classes, showed an increase in fruit and vegetable consumption, while children who only received nutrition classes showed a less marked increase. Direct interaction with growing food also shows students how much work goes into food production and thus reduces waste. And having time in the garden incorporated into lessons, more physical activity is also able to occur during the school day. Along with boosting childhood nutrition, school gardens can have profound positive effects on children's overall learning. In a synthesis of studies conducted on academic outcomes from garden-based learning on science, math, writing, and social studies, 83% indicated positive outcomes, which were often attributed to hands-on activities in the garden, making lessons relevant for students. School gardens have also been noted for their benefits to children's social and emotional needs. School gardens create a space for students to work together to fulfill important goals, foster a sense of community, and instill feelings of confidence and individuality. While school gardens, like all gardens, require a lot of work, their benefits are extensive, and teachers support your future support is integral to school garden implementation and success.